So, welcome to the overdue 7th KoiCast after a month. And hopefully, now I'll get back into the every 2 weeks that we'll do these on Friday. And also, whenever I can get certain people scheduled in to go back to the interviews that we used to be doing. Also, thanks for the follow, Unicorn. I think what I'm going to do is send out these emails that I have to send out to some people to interview, and then we'll go from there, see when people can get scheduled in, and see if it ends up being every 2 weeks, if it ends up being on different days than Fridays. But for now, the plan is to get back into it like it was for the first 6 of these, and do them every 2 weeks on the Fridays. So it's been a month. It's been a month and a half, probably. And the reason why I suddenly stopped doing these podcasts after really talking about like getting more interviews, and I think at the end of the last one, at the end of the one with It's Winter, I said, I think I want to start doing these weekly. And and then it's been a month and a half. So, definitely change. Also, thanks, Unicorn. It is the best. And also, by the way, until later on and a few times, like during the Dream Journal stuff, I'm definitely not going to be focusing on chat nearly as much as I would normally on a normal stream. Just to get through all the talking points and to do all the podcasty style stuff. So the reason why I stopped doing it after deciding or thinking that it would be a really good idea to start doing it once a week, or even more than once a week instead of once every 2 weeks, is because I started to way overestimate what I wanted to do and what I was capable of doing in terms of like any other content related to the stream. What's up, Quick and Fox? Wait, Fox, you've been here. Quick, hope you're doing well. I meant to say Zoma. Happy Friday. So, I had the KoiCast that I wanted to do every 2 weeks. Obviously, the streams every weekday with the Some Saturday streams. Had the Osu videos I was uploading. Had the highlight videos I've been uploading every 2 weeks. And then I wanted to plan more events for the stream. I wanted to network with these other streamers here. I wanted to look into gardening, completely unrelated to the stream, and start to do stuff with that. And I started having all these ideas and things that I wanted to do, and all these other things that I wanted to do related to the stream and the stream content, like all right at that time a month and a half ago, where after the It's Winter podcast, I was like, oh, I'm going to start doing these every week. And all of it kind of came together, and I was like, without knowing it at the time, I was like, this is way too much. I'm way overestimating what I'm actually capable of doing, and way too much straying away from having the main focus be on the streams during the week, and on the stream content, and Osu, and the highlight videos, I guess, and like all the main stuff that's a part of the stream and a part of the stuff I do. Straying way too far away from it. And after all of that came together and I was like super overstressed about it, I kind of just completely stopped all of it, other than like the highlight videos and obviously streaming. So the KoiCast, without really saying much about it, except when you guys would ask about it here and there, I just completely forgot about the KoiCast. Like, intentionally. I just decided I'm not even going to think about it. I'm just not going to do it for a while. I must summon the Java. Java's asleep. Although he will wake up in an hour and a half. He always wakes up at 8 p.m. my time, which is normally when I end. But since it's an evening stream, we're going to get some Java playtime. So as soon as this podcast is over, I can guarantee 90% Java playtime. Gardening with Koi when? Hopefully at some point in the future. But to that effect, hopefully at some point in the future, what I need to do is not spread myself like way too thin with all of this stuff. Because if I take all the focus away, like it's good to, I like having my highlight videos every 2 weeks. And again, I want to bring the KoiCasts back. That's what I'm doing now. But when I have like 5 other things and I want to speed all of them up, then it's like taking away from the streams, which are the main thing. I don't want to take anything away from that. And it starts making it all not something that's super fun to go and do. It starts turning it all into a stressor, which is the exact opposite of what any of it should be. Like, especially streaming or anything related to it. So, completely dropped all of it. And I didn't really realize or think about exactly why and all the things that I'm saying now until a few days ago, where KoiFishu was reading me stuff from my birth chart, because she's really into like astrological signs and stuff like that. And she's gotten me into it a little bit. But she was reading me stuff from my birth chart and stuff about me and that. I'm going to do a horrible job explaining any of it. Hey, KoiFishu. But the main point is, she sent me a picture, so let me read this, because this stuck with me, and this helped me like realize some of the stuff I'm talking about now. For whatever this means, my 10th house, based on my birth time and me personally, my 10th house is in, I don't know how to say this, KoiFishu, and you're gonna not be happy when I butcher this. Sagittarius. My 10th house is in Sagittarius, I think. That's what that says. I think that's how you pronounce it. But anyway, the point is that from me, or from her telling me what was like in this birth chart information about me, one of the things were that like the person is likely to spread themselves too thin. And only then, like a few days ago, was I like, oh, that's literally exactly what I'm doing. That's the whole thing that's like taken all these ideas that I used to have about the stream and like turning them into things that I'm really, really stressed about and don't want to do anymore, like the KoiCast. And so I was like, okay, let me pull back from all the stuff that I've been planning and all the stuff that I want to do, because all of it, there's time for all of it eventually. And let me just focus on the main things. Obviously, the main thing is the stream itself, the streams, and the highlight videos. But I was like, okay, so let me have that main thing that I always have my focus on. That's always good, so that I always feel good about it, so that I can give you guys good streams and God, not feel like while I'm doing it there's 20 other things that I'm worried about and trying to plan for. And then on top of that, pick like one thing that I want to focus on other than just the main stuff, instead of like, 20 different things. And so that was the KoiCast. So that's why I'm doing this and bringing the KoiCasts back and getting all the other interviews set up for subsequent KoiCasts, and working on not spreading myself too thin, which seems like pretty obvious advice, to not spread yourself too thin. I feel like that's the type of thing that a lot of people hear throughout their lives. But I never heard it, really. Well, I mean, I did, but it didn't really resonate with me until a few days ago. So that has helped me a lot. I know I said I wasn't going to focus on chat, but I'm fascinated by what you just said, Am. For a quick sidetrack from what I was saying. There's a day off of middle school? Oh, day off middle school, because there was a mosh pit that resulted from an intense Beyblade match. Some dude broke his nose during it. Holy shit. I played Beyblade like a few times with a few friends with like one of the little arenas. And I remember I got all my Beyblade things. Beyblades? Is that what they're called? That might be wrong. But I remember I got all of them from yard sales or garage sales or whatever the correct naming is. Yes, KoiCast has been live ever since I started talking about spreading myself too thin. And I think I had everything to say. I forget what my conclusion was, but basically that statement, not spreading myself too thin, or the idea of that's not a good thing to do, especially apparently for me specifically, as according to my birth chart, it's resonated with me a lot, and it's helped me out a lot, I think, just in the past few days in my mindset on certain things. So that's why the KoiCast has been gone, and that's why it's back today after a month and a half. And feels good. Feels very good. 23 is close, but not correct. It's close, though. All right, so that gets through my first little bit right before the dream journal, but there's two other things that I want to talk about before we get into the main portion of this KoiCast. And that's a few upcoming things for the channel, just because since it's been a while since I've done one of these, I feel like I'll take time to talk for like 5 minutes about some upcoming stuff. And then we can get into the dream journal. So, I'm actually 12, yeah. 21 is closer as well, but also incorrect. So, upcoming stuff for the channel. Other than, continuing streams, at some point, we'll have a 12-hour, 1,000-follower special stream. Don't know when that's going to be, and I don't know exactly what we're going to do, but that's coming up at some point. So we have 12-hour, 1,000-follower special. It'll probably be more like 15 hours, even though I don't know what we're doing. I would love for it to be 24, but god damn, is it really hard to do a 24-hour stream, even if I have stuff planned for every bit of the 24-hour stream. So that's coming up soon. The other two things that are coming up soon is because I didn't realize how late it was into the year. It's kind of shocking that it's almost the end of August. So we're almost into the 9th month of the 12-month year that is 2018. Feels very, very weird. But because we're almost to September, that means October's coming up. So just like we did last year, we'll have the spook streams come again this October. Every, Wednesday and Friday, I think, is what we did for the spook streams. Played a horror game every Wednesday and Friday stream. So we're going to do that again this October. Obviously different games. And then in December as well, we'll have our December game series extravaganza and do whatever that ends up entailing. Whatever games we play those Wednesdays and Fridays. So 12-hour 1,000-follower special, spook streams in October. I'm still standing by calling them spook streams, even though there's much better names I could probably come up with. And then the December game series stuff are all coming much, much sooner than I thought. Because it still feels like we're only about halfway through 2018. Not more than halfway through. In a way, it's like, oh god, time is going so fast. But it's also like, it's not too bad to know that time is further ahead than it feels like it is. It's just weird feeling. Not necessarily a bad thing, just weird. Although, if you like summer, it's obviously not the most pleasant to realize that September is next month, but wait, did you ever guess it correct, Ras? I think the last thing you said was 25. Yeah, I wouldn't, in terms of how would I describe? Depends on what you would qualify as full-time. I don't make the revenue that would financially label it as full-time in like a job sort of way. But in terms of time put into it, depending on what you're comparing it to, could be considered close. All right. I've been stretching so much today because of my left arm after Osu this week. So I think I've gotten through all the intro stuff about the KoiCast, about where it's been, about why it's back, about the upcoming plans, about the upcoming event things on the stream, and all that type of stuff. Which means that now it's time to get into the good stuff. The Dream Journal. Part 2 of the Dream Journal. Only one of the past 6 KoiCasts has been about my Dream Journal, and I haven't really kept it since the last time we talked about it. Like, I haven't really written down any of the dreams, or at least I had thought, because apparently I did write down a few, which I'll see for the first time right now, since I've completely forgotten about them. But I want to check, too, really quick, when that podcast was about my Dream Journal. So the interview with It's Winter was a month and a half ago. And then before that, I had a solo KoiCast about just random news stuff. That was KoiCast number 5. Then the 4th KoiCast was the interview with Fluffy. And then the 3rd KoiCast, over 3 months ago, almost 4 months ago, was the last time I discussed anything related to my Dream Journal. So it's been a while. So it's seemingly... I thought it was going to be more close to that one that I brought it up again, but it's a long overdue part 2 for the Dream Journal. So that's what we're doing. Basher, welcome in. You made it in just in time. I got to scroll up in my notes here. So I write them all down on my phone, which I've been trying to do right upon waking up. It's really hard, though. It's like getting out of bed without an alarm. It's like if you decide that you're going to wake up really early, you're going to get out of bed at 8 in the morning, 7 in the morning, and you feel super confident and good about it the night before. It's not so easy to do it when you actually wake up at 7 in the morning. Same thing with trying to write these down every time I wake up. Really early for me, Cashew. 7 is very early for me. Might not be for you, though. All right. By the way, Ras, I'm 20. Is the age. So, the furthest back this goes for me writing these down, and I didn't write them down every day. There's only 10. Oh, wait, no, there's 11 of them here. Javbot, what is... Javbot taking that :3 from 630. Best chatbot. So, this first one that I've written down is from May 10th. And again, I have the dates by most of these. Some of them I don't have dates. I guess those mornings I was just too tired to write down the date of the dream. But most of them have dates. And those ones I'll say. If not, I'll try to guess what day it was. But it's going to be interesting for me reading back through some of these. We got some short ones, we got some long ones. We got a few to go through. So let's do it. For me, Ras, it is not morning here. It is 6:49 p.m. 6:49 in the evening. All right, so while I'm reading through all of these, I'm probably not going to focus on chat. And we'll go from there. So, first one is on May 10th. Some of this might not make any sense, so we'll see how this goes. On May 10th, I was a part of a game where I and a few others were in a huge playing field that was mostly metal walkways and rooms and ramps and corridors. At the beginning of the game, there was a cutscene where a girl is attacked by a face hugger. I assume I mean like the face huggers from Alien. At the beginning of the game, there's a cutscene. A cutscene where a girl is attacked by a face hugger. Okay. She starts trying to escape the metal compound by getting into a large machine. Like the early Alien movies? Did I watch any of the Alien movies? Okay. Don't think that actually happened. That's when we, as the player, are placed in and tasked with killing her. I'm in great dreams. Killing girls who get attacked by aliens. We're given a heavy weapon that does good damage, and a weaker but faster shooting weapon. I don't remember any of this. Also, when shooting her, the numbers pop out. Specifically, I wrote, like from Ni no Kuni. Pretty sure there's lots of games where you shoot enemies and numbers pop out. But like from Ni no Kuni. The way it worked was first we had to break the machine she was in. Then there was a cutscene of the girl falling out of it and trying to run away. But the alien came out of her and she died. Then it was time to kill the alien. This part was super hard because it was very fast and killed us in one hit. So there was lots of retrying. I don't know. I tend to have a few dreams because I remember in the last stream journal thing, there were a few where it was like me in a video game dying multiple times. Why is that a reoccurring thing in my dreams? Not just being in a video game, but specifically like retrying and dying over and over again. It's a little concerning. Eventually, I was in the playfield with 2 other people, and we started up the game. Quickly finished the first phase, I guess, like, of the enemy. Then saw the cutscene. Okay, then my dream ended, even though I felt like that was the one where I could win. Okay. That's it. This is what happens when I hit retry and Osu too much. Even though it seemed like that was... So basically it was just me doing this boss fight thing over and over again that was like from one of the Alien movies. But I kept dying. And then I was about to win, but then I woke up. Okay. Sounds good. The next day... And I don't remember any of that, or writing it down. I don't think I remember this one either, at all. I also started out with, don't remember very much. Let's see. I was in some sort of giant theme park, or something similar. In the body... I was in some sort of giant theme park, or something similar, in the body of a kid who could travel outside his body and take over other people. So, does that mean I could travel outside, but I was in the body of a kid? That doesn't sound good. That really doesn't sound good. I'm assuming I had, like, possessed a different human being. I think. Apparently... Wait, where? I was in a theme park, too. Oh, Jesus. Doesn't sound good. Apparently, in the park, I was being hunted down by some special agent people who were trying to find me. And eventually, they got me. But that's all I remember, okay? Then I was in some sort of large school with a few people that I've known in the past in real life. Oh, I just lost my spot. Okay, in the dream, it was like it was the last day of classes, and we were all going to these different strange classes for the first time, even though it was the last day. So a few people I knew, and I, went to this class and all sat down and got prepped as the professor gave instruction on what we would be doing. One student had socks on with screws attaching them to his... Oh my god, I remember this. One student had socks on with screws attaching the socks to his feet. This was May 11th, this dream. I literally remember it as this exact section of the dream. Okay, so he had screws attaching his socks to his feet, except the screws weren't actually going into his feet. Comma, hard to explain, comma. This was just random though, okay? The teacher eventually said to collect your things and take them outside to these tables that were set up, and that whoever was organized the fastest would be the most likely to win. And then I added a question mark. So me and a few others were the first ones up, and the first ones to set up all these tools we were given on one of the tables outside. I don't remember after that, but the last thing I remember is the day ending and just kind of walking into the street and heading towards a parking lot. The end. I find it weird, though, that I remember specifically the kid who had the screw connecting his sock. I don't know why I remember that. Wasn't Labor Day a while ago? Fuel? I'm pretty confident. Now I want to check this. Okay, yeah. Labor Day wasn't a while ago. Well, it was more than less than a year ago, but it's apparently in also a week or two. Labor Day, September 3rd. It's good to know. All right, I gotta stop focusing on chat. I don't know why I remember that dream specifically, though. It's always weird when you like have specific things that you remember from dreams randomly, even up over a month later, because nothing about that seems significant at all. And I was also looking up right before the stream different sign or common signs in dreams that mean certain things, and most of them didn't really seem to resonate in any way or make any sense. But I did notice really quickly on a lot of lists about, like, if this happens in a lot of your dreams, it means this, and all that stuff. I noticed on almost every one of these lists talking about stuff in your dreams was teeth falling out. And I have this article where those nice pearly whites... Oh, well, the screen is white. It's a little creepy looking. Jesus. So apparently teeth falling out is very, very common in dreams. It's never happened to me, though. I swear I don't remember a single dream, and none of these ones that I've written down. I feel like I've never had it happen. But I wanted to ask, like, in between these dreams, if anyone here has had a dream where your teeth fall out. Brutality means you're insecure. Yeah, it says in this article, usually means you're feeling subconsciously repressed or controlled. It can mean, for example, you really want to leave a job, but you're feeling trapped or like you can't for some reason. I've never had that happen. But apparently it's, like, really common. No, you've never had teeth falling out, but you're insecure. Zoma, you don't think you've had any dreams of that? Yeah, I don't think I've had any dreams of that either. I've definitely had a lot of times in the past, though, where I've been feeling extremely insecure too, though. I don't know, though. It was just weird for me to see that, because it's like one of the top most common things among, like, you know, having dreams about falling or other common dreams like being chased, falling, flying, those types of things. It was just like, also teeth falling out. And I was like, what the hell? I don't think I've ever experienced that. It doesn't sound good at all, though. Clearly. Critality, during the dream, it doesn't even feel weird. Just like, there goes another tooth, oh well. You'll lick the empty spot and accidentally push another tooth out? What the hell? That's so interesting. That's a common, like a relatively common thing for humans to dream about. Like, why are your teeth falling out? Why is that associated with that type of insecurity? That's so... I want to look up the, like, science behind that rather than just here's what it is and here's what it's associated with. because that seems like such an oddly specific thing. But yeah, found that interesting. That's interesting, though, too, Critality, that you've had those types of dreams and that's how it feels, accidentally pushing out another tooth. Are they, like, bad dreams when you have them, if you remember? Like nightmares? Or are they just kind of within forgettable dreams? Just randomly? Because it kind of sounds like the type of thing that wouldn't necessarily be in, like, a nightmare. But it doesn't sound like a pleasant thing in itself. You wouldn't say bad, really weird for sure, uncomfortable maybe, but never particularly bad. Interesting. Yeah, it was up there with falling. I haven't had a dream in a while about falling, but I've definitely had my fair share of dreams in the past about falling and being chased by stuff. Being chased by stuff, I feel like, is much more common. I don't know. For me, it is. I definitely have more dreams than falling, of being chased by someone or something. Yeah, maybe Zoma. Actually, like subconsciously too, those having that association. That's interesting. I want to look more into that. All right. Yeah, there's lots of... what's interesting is a lot of these websites that I was looking at for these common dream things and what they are associated with, a lot of them had vaguely similar but mostly different explanations of what certain things mean. But all of the tooth falling out, or the teeth falling out ones, were pretty much the same on all these different websites. Not that that's means that's how it is. I don't know how credible all these websites are. And I'm nowhere near an expert on any of these topics. But it was just interesting to see all of those with the teeth be so similar. Then again, they probably, or any of these websites could have also just copied this stuff from each other, so who knows. Might have something to do with how everyone goes through a couple years of baby teeth falling out, so yeah, it's in everyone's subconscious. That's true. Yeah. That probably does have something to do with it. I mean, it must. To have it be so heavily associated with the act of teeth falling out, which happens in everyone's life. Interesting. All right. Well, I think I'm going to look more into that a little bit and then come back on like Monday's stream and mention a few things about it, or maybe on the next KoiCast or something. So, maybe I'll ask every guest every time we have someone to interview at the very end. By the way, do you ever have dreams where your teeth fall out? I'm really interested and want to know. Maybe it'll be a thing we do every time. All right, dream number 3. This one doesn't have a date, so I have no idea when it was. But I was in a large school with dorm rooms inside. What? I was in a large school with dorm rooms inside, I guess inside the building itself. Like the school building. There was a very large staircase as well. One head instructor was a large woman who me and a few other students from my floor were trying to avoid for some reason. I can't remember why. I don't remember it, but I know at some point in the dream we had to kill a few staff members because we knew the group running the school was evil and doing bad things. Eventually, we realized that we did the wrong thing and unintentionally killed innocent people. I'm going to clarify again that this is a dream. Oh, God. Wait. Killed a few staff members, unintentionally killed some innocent people, too? That's a nice name. Aren't names like that banned automatically from Twitch? Or is it like a timed thing? Thanks for the follow, though. Even if that's just like a temporary joke account. That's some quality. All right. There's a lot of shady stuff that happens, right? Yeah. But apparently we were doing it because they were evil. Although we accidentally killed some people who weren't evil. All right. What did I say after that? Oh, also, I'm now remembering that one of the bad things... Oh, that the staff members did. One of the bad things was that the students could not leave the school building. We were stuck inside. Okay. So we developed a plan to trick... I keep losing my spot every time I look away because I'm reading this off my phone. Next time I'm not going to read this off my phone because this is too confusing. Okay. So basically some of the school staff was trapping people inside. So we developed a plan to trick the big main head woman of the school to open the gates of the school and let us out. So it was like a prison school, but we already felt guilty at that point. The plan was working, okay? And once it succeeded, family members came inside the school to rescue the trapped students. For whatever reason, a family member of one of the people in my group who were trying to help was upset that we killed people, and as revenge, decided to shoot people on our floor. This is getting, like, really not good. At this point in the dream, I half knew I was dreaming because I was suddenly thinking, if I die in this dream, I won't be able to be this person in a dream again, so I don't want to die. But I was shot anyway. And incapacitated. The person thought I was dead, though, and was upset to see that I was still alive when he came over. Okay. He then tried to pin me down, but someone else came over to save me and started strangling the guy. I don't remember who saved me, but that's all I remember from the dream. That one is oddly, like, there's no real, I don't know, that one's pretty straightforward. Stuck in a prison school, we had to kill people to get out. Family members were coming to rescue us as we were finally escaping the school. But then one of the family members got upset and started killing people. Like, there's not really anything there other than it just being like a dark dream. Some of these dreams that I've written down have, like, and then I started flying, or I don't know, something random that breaks it up. That one didn't really have that. I'm glad I don't remember that dream. And I'm pretty sure I didn't have a dream like that since. Maybe that was after, like, watching, like, some, or consuming some bad news that happened in the world around that time. Like, some bad stuff going on. I've been watching more, I used to never watch any of these videos at all. But I've been watching more Philip DeFranco videos on YouTube. There's lots of, it's just in a way like watching the news in the sense of there's always just bad stuff. It's basically sitting down for 15 minutes and consuming the most negative stuff that's, like, happening in the world that day. And I'm wondering if that influences any of these dreams. Maybe I should stop watching those videos. They're interesting in the moment, but God, there's some negative shit. Not that it's, like, good to, you know, always shut that stuff out and pretend it doesn't exist, but there's a lot of not good stuff. All right, well, this one does have a date. May 14th is the next dream. I had a few dreams before this. One that specifically involved being in a graduation, or graduating, I guess, from a school. It wasn't high school or university. It was like its own special school. And a lot of these have to do with schools. Also, RIP Am. Big RIP. I'm going to have to inquire as to what map you're making after this. Or what map you're looking at. Okay. I had a dream where I was in a school. I don't remember it. After that dream, it transitioned to me being a part of a God of War game. A God of War game? Except it wasn't God of War. Hold on. This is literally what I've written. Hold on. I remember a bit of the previous dream. It was a music school, and I was dressed super nicely, trying to uncover something about this school that I actually didn't attend. I was in undercover, and at some point I was trying to find the bathroom and couldn't do it, but eventually saw on a school map that the bathrooms were only found within locker rooms. Then that dream ended, and then back to the God of War stuff. Okay, so it wasn't really God of War, but at the same time it was. In that, I was some form of Kratos, and had to fight enemies in God of War style. It was actually really cool. I was in a giant Hogwarts-like castle with huge interiors that the entirety of this God of War game took place within. Kratos is best dad. I'm glad I was apparently Kratos in this dream. Also in Hogwarts. What a crossover. God of War and Harry Potter. The best. So let's see. I first had to infiltrate Hogwarts from the outside, but it was like a modern area on the outside and just looked like a big building. I don't know what that means. To get in, I had to scale a huge wall where people could see. And then break through a window. I had to use what I think were a variation of the Chaos Blades. 2 blades, each attached to chains that... I'm describing the Chaos Blades, okay. And I hooked them into the wall and used the chains to climb. When doing this, I think I had to be fast enough, otherwise I would need to try again. Another video game dream where I need to, try again to do a certain event. So it took a few times, before breaking in, and definitely... Oh, and it was definitely Hogwarts on the inside. It was definitely Hogwarts. From there, I was excited because I wanted to see how a God of War game played. What? And what kind of enemies were in... Oh, how a God of War game played and what kind of enemies were in Hogwarts. Unfortunately, though, that's all I remember. I might have had a dream after this as well, but other than this and the one in the music school, I don't think I can remember. Interesting. Another video game dream where I'm Kratos in Hogwarts. I'm upset that I don't remember what happened in the dream, though. That sounds cool. Kratos going on a rampage in the food hall? Oh no. But what if it's new Kratos? Or old Kratos? Dad Kratos? And he doesn't just want to go on a rampage. Unless all the wizards turn against him. We've got all this different mythology that Kratos is going through in these God of War games. Now we got to get to the wizarding world of Harry Potter. A new story for Kratos. Okay. Next dream. May 17th. There's a weird jump scare filled game that everyone is playing. I was playing the game and trying it out, and there was a part with a girl laying on a couch. Okay. Eventually this led to me playing the game with others, and I started over. I'm having a feeling this is going to be one of the dreams where I was too tired when I wrote it down, and I don't remember it, so I might just skip it. There were a few different levels, each with a few puzzles and paths that led to the ending, and each filled with very intense jump scares. The most intense ones, though, were in this strange hallway-looking stage, where you would walk into the hall for the first time, and something would run towards you super fast from the other end, screaming. Sounds like a cliche jump scare. Okay. Also in this stage is a man who is constantly following you and holding a key. At one point, man? That must be a typo. At one point, you can get the key from him. Okay. Then find which door to open with it. Wow, it sounds like a horror game. Jump scares and you have to find a key to open a door. Jesus Christ. This game that we're playing after the KoiCast tonight, I swear to God, if in the first hour of playing I have to find a key, we're switching to Osu. Okay. The other stages weren't too different. One was in a more future-looking alien area. One was on an island with kids who would attack. Actually, when I was doing the island stage, I almost got killed after getting jump scared by the kids. Only to run and hide in some metal box that was on the edge of the island so that the kids couldn't get me. Then everything zoomed out, and it was now me and Cashew playing the game that the whole dream had been from within. Wait. So I was a part of this game, but then it zoomed out, and I was playing the game. With Cashew. Alright. We were talking about how we'd seen the island before, but it didn't matter since it wasn't real. Huh. Yeah, terrifying. Jump scaring kids. Another video game dream where I'm in a game. That's a reoccurring theme because the latest dream that's added to this is the one I had last night, which I remember very well, which was also me being inside of a video game. There's a lot of those. None of them are really bad, even the ones with jump scares. It's just kind of like, oh, that's my dream. That's what's going on in it. I'm getting jump scared, like in the dream, but it didn't feel scary. None of these so far that I've read were bad dreams. They just kind of happened. None of them were particularly good, except for maybe the Kratos one. The way I described that made it sound like I enjoyed it a lot. Apparently it's good to be the god of war. Oh my god, you're right, Am. The best protagonist of all of anime. I'm sure everyone agrees that Kirito is a quality character. Specifically in the anime. I haven't watched SAO in a while, actually. Cashew and I, a few weeks ago, tried watching Orbital Scale, the SAO movie that came out, like last year, was it? Not too long ago. Got really boring about 20 minutes in. Didn't continue it. All right. May 21st. In this dream, a friend and I were put into another world. Fuck me. It's SAO. Guys. I'm Kirito. A friend and I were put into another world. Woke up in another world. Actually, it was a friend, me, and my GF. For some reason in the dream, the friend, who I don't know in real life, was a trap. Even though he looked like and acted like he wasn't. I'm pretty sure that's like the definition of it, in a way. Anyway, somehow we all got sent to this other realm where we were trapped within a school. It's always a school, too. I'm always trapped in a school in these dreams. I'm either in a video game or I'm trapped inside of a school. What's the underlying message of that? That I don't like schools and I like video games? It might be as simple as that. Okay. Anyway. The anyways written in here. Anyway, somehow we all got sent to this other realm. We were trapped within a school that was ruled by what seemed like an evil witch. After being trapped in the school, we were all given class schedules by the witch. My schedule was super weird because the classes started at like 4 p.m. and ended at 10 p.m. Meanwhile, Cashew's and everyone else's were normal. And because of that, it was very stressful for me. Eventually, classes started, and my friend and I were trying to find a way to break out. We didn't really... Wait, okay, that's another thing that's going on in all of these. Even in the video game dreams, I've noticed almost every single one of the dreams so far has involved me or someone trying to break out of something. There's got to be an underlying message there, too. I'm constantly breaking out of schools and breaking out of machines and stuck inside of islands and houses. But none of them are, like, bad from my memory. Also, what's up, Black? Hope you're doing well. Okay, let's see. We were trying to find a way to break out. We didn't find a way to break out, but we did learn that there was a ledge on the outside of the large building that we were in that we could jump on that would lead us to a blocked off section. Now it's sounding more like a video game. Now it started feeling more like a game. I literally wrote that. Now it started feeling more like a game, even though it was still me in first person. Now that we broke out of the normal area of the school, we were finding things like glitches that allowed us to reach the top, get out of the bounds, and get to the ground of the school. Eventually, we knew that the witch would come to get us, but instead, we were spotted by guards who came out and told us to get down. I thought we already got to the ground. Now we knew that they would probably kill us for some reason. So we had to either fight or run. These are my dreams. Had to either fight or run. Critality, I saw you miss the trap dream. Which is still the dream that I'm reading right now. Which, again, involves me being stuck in a school. Okay. I can also 100% guarantee this is all, like, actually real, what I wrote upon waking up. I don't remember any of these dreams. I don't remember even writing this down the morning of May 17th. But all of these are written down right when I wake up. It's a good way to get out of bed. And, like, you know, if I keep forcing myself up and fixing typos and trying to type something up, it wakes me up. Gets my mind moving at the beginning of the day. Still very, very hard to do. But I'm glad I've sort of gotten in the groove of writing down my dreams. Yeah, no school experience I've ever had has been as bad as any of the stuff that's going on in these dreams. Nearly. Okay, so we either had to fight or run from these guards. Somehow I was able to bring up a command console. Fuck. And give myself the ability to fly. To run from the guards. We did go to the ground. Okay. Which was outside of the school, I assume, and in front of the building. And more guards started coming. I was able to grab a gun from one of the guards and fly while shooting the others. It's definitely a video game now. We still didn't want the witch to see us, so we kept defending until eventually we knew she was coming. So I turned off flying because I didn't want her to know that I was cheating, I guess. And dropped the weapons, and my friend and I were simply being attacked and pursued by a ton of guards. One of which was cleverly... What? Let me read this again. I thought it was a typo, but no, this has actually been what I've written down. What? Okay. We were simply being attacked and pursued by a ton of guards, one of which who was clearly Vin Diesel. That's it. There's no other mention of Vin Diesel in this. Just one of the guards was clearly Vin Diesel. When the witch came, she was surprisingly nice. She was surprisingly nice to my friend and I, and was upset at all the guards. She wanted to protect us. She took us back into the school, and we knew we had done something good. So, it started to seem like the guards were brainwashing or controlling the witch to make her evil. But they got distracted by us and trying to attack us. And so the witch was able to break free from the brainwashing and began to help us get away from the school. This is like an advanced dream. That's about all I can remember the end. Damn. Had Vin Diesel, it had battles, it had using the console to cheat in flying hacks. The witch wasn't evil the whole time. There was a twist at the end. We escaped the school. Damn. I'm a fan of some of these. None of my dreams were this interesting, by the way, until I started writing them down. I swear my dreams have gotten more interesting just from writing them down for a few days in a row. Because I remember like the first 2 or 3 dreams from the KoiCast number 3 where I did this were pretty relatively typical. But after those first 3, they were all like this. So, seems like if you write down your dreams, you get quality content. Yeah, it's a good way to start lucid dreaming too. I've never had dreams where I'm like super clearly knowing that, oh, I'm dreaming until I did this. Obviously not all of these I know that I'm dreaming in, but in a few of them I do. So, and that's always cool when it happens. All right. I might run to the bathroom really quickly in a second, but we're a little more than halfway through these. I've been live. How long have I been live? I think the KoiCast has been going for almost an hour. So yeah, this is probably totally going to be an hour and a half at the end, this KoiCast, which is what I was aiming for, so it feels good. Oh yeah, Katali, I think you mentioned that last time we did this. You tried to induce lucid dreaming, but you ended up giving yourself sleep paralysis instead, which is, from what I've heard, a horrifying event, depending on what occurs in your sleep paralysis. I'm glad that that's never happened to me, and I also hope that because of me writing all of these down, that doesn't happen to me, because it's everyone who I've heard from about sleep paralysis has described it as a horribly unpleasant event. Okay. Before I read this next one, it's not too long. None of the remaining ones I think are that long, but I'm going to run to the bathroom really quick. I'll be right back. And I guess I'll just cut this out when I upload it. I need to remember to do that, though. So that in the audio, when I upload this, it's not just like a minute of silence. I'll be right back. Oh, boy. Wow, it's 7:27. Do. There's a giant spider in my bathroom. It's not fun. All right. Oh, Critality, about your paralysis, you'd say it was unnerving at most. Hallucinations don't really spook you anymore. Some people I've heard, like in sleep paralysis, they have like horrible events that happen to them while they're in their sleep paralysis. That always sounds scary. Neo, welcome in. We're about halfway through our KoiCast, but you're about to experience the rest of my quality dream content. Let's continue. This next dream, high school reunion. Car needed fixing, so I brought it to a friend's house to be fixed. Wow, had to pay $16. That's oddly specific. I was talking to 2 girls and 1 guy, and I told them that I'm going to marry my GF soon. Was a good time, but then my car was done, so I had to go, and I left. Then the dream changed to watching this guy and his wife in what looked like my house. And they were talking about a guy friend of theirs who was coming over. Then it was learned that after the guy friend came over, he had sex with the wife without the husband knowing. And ever since that happened, she was acting more distant to the husband. Wait, so am I watching all of this occur? This wife cheating on her husband? I'm having a dream where this isn't occurring to me, but I'm watching it happen to other people. Okay. Where's my spot? What? Where's my spot? I just completely lost it. Okay. After watching I and a few others who were placed in the work. This must be a typo. Who were placed in the work as we needed to tell the man what was happening. Okay. We told him. And he was very happy when he figured it out. Then the dream changed again. Then the dream changed again to me running from a person. I keep losing my spot. Every time you see my eyes glance away, I guarantee I lose my spot. The dream changed again to me running from a person in the water. Both of us on rafts, going in a linear path. Felt like an arcade game we were in. Okay, another game dream. I had to control myself at first and could only move forward, back, and side to side on my raft. And I had to dodge big fish and things in the water. Then a whale started to chase me too, from behind. And the person chasing me in their raft and I got to a narrow river that the water led into. But somehow the whale could get in too. And both me and the guy chasing me were confused as to how that was possible. Then we sort of teamed up. I like the way I word this. Then we sort of teamed up to go forward and traverse the arcade-like water world. When eventually we were led to what looked like a big temple with tiki torches and a bunch of tribe people walking around. We had to get off our rafts and walk through this part of the arcade-like course and make it to the end without getting caught by the tribe people. They had creepy masks, and it seemed really hard to do to get past them with the walking cycles that they were on. Okay, so we're definitely in a video game. And the small areas that we had to walk through, made it very hard to get through, okay. The other guy went on the path first, and I watched him from behind a barrier. And we realized that it was pretty easy to get past the tribe people as long as you didn't get super close to them. Before I went, I got close to a tribes person from the other side of the barrier to see their aggro range. And they noticed me and started quickly running around to get to me. But they stopped once I got out of their aggro range. Okay, sick. Learning the mechanics of a game within my dream. Oh, are we at 16,000? Really? Holy shit, that's insane. Hold on, let me refresh. Because mine still says 15,993. Oh, damn, it's flat 16K. Holy shit. Wow. Damn. Feels good. Thanks for letting me know, Neo. That's insane. That is actually insane. Oh, I love that. It's only going to be like that for like right now. I should take a screenshot. Hold on. Let's do that really quick. Here we go. All right, got it. Nice. Thanks for letting me know, Neo. Big Pog. Okay, what was I doing? I was checking aggro range. Neo, you can do 6-star Osu with mouse. Feels good. Okay, I gotta stop the chat. I want to get through this. Oh, wait, we're almost done, actually, because some of these are really short. Yes, tribes people chasing us. We're in a game. Most of the dreams seem to be like this. So we got through the area with the tribe people, and then we ran out of coins, and we got kicked out of the arcade machine that we were inside of. We realized that we were in a big arcade with an immersive VR adventure machine that we were inside of, and we needed more coins. After looking around the arcade for a bit, and then that's it, and then I wrote, fell asleep while writing this, and dreamed that someone named Cyrus slapped me and I couldn't open it. Then I dreamed I wrote it down and started to think of another dream about an old Minecraft mod. That's it. Yeah, these are all my dreams that I've written down, Neo, upon waking up. Apparently that dream just changed to a Minecraft dream. Haven't played Minecraft in a long time. Okay. These next two are really, really short. Oh yeah, we are pretty much just at the end here. There's only 3 left. Okay. Only short dream where there were many Christmas decorations in the room I stream in. So in this room. So it was really hard to navigate. Oh, I remember this one. Okay, this one was this week. So yeah, I was in this room, but it was a lot bigger, and there were Christmas decorations everywhere. Like, I couldn't even get through everything. And I remember that there was a Christmas tree, like, right over here. But because there were so many decorations, and because there was so much stuff in the room, and also it was as if I hadn't gone in this room for, like, a long, long time. So there were cobwebs everywhere, and there were spider webs on all the stuff. And I was trying to navigate through, but I kept running into spider webs, and there were spiders everywhere. It was horrible. Anyway, let's see what I wrote here, though. This might just be what I've written down. So there were Christmas decorations everywhere, so it was really hard to navigate, but I needed to turn everything off and clean it up before going to bed. Okay. I realized it would be way too hard, though. So I just focused on turning all the decorations off. But then when I was unplugging the lights of a Christmas tree, the Christmas tree snapped in half. That's it. Okay? That reminds me, I have really good memories. I've mentioned this before, but I have really, really good memories of setting up the tree and putting those lights up last December on stream. That was really, really fun. I still have that Christmas tree. It's still right there, actually. It's always been there, even though it's left us. I really should probably replace those lights sometime soon, because so many of them are starting to go out. You can't really tell on stream, but like a few of them right here are out. A few of the lights on the side, like there and there and there, are either really dim or starting to go out, because they're not meant to be on as long as I've had them on. They're like cheap $10 lights, and I've had them on for almost a year. I turn them off every night, by the way, because fire hazard if I leave them on for that long. Some days I just turn them on when I go live, so. But I'm surprised how long they've lasted. I'm going to need to buy more this year, probably. Okay. There are not many left. This one I've already said on stream. I said this a few days ago because it's so broken, this dream that I wrote out. But I'll read it anyway. August 21st. This is a poem. Plate full of olives in amazing environment. Told that I have to stay with plan. I swiveled until it cooks. Take a while of exploring with GF away from others. When GF was told to be done, but we strayed from the pack and stayed in forest with olives. That's it. I don't remember that one. No, I do remember that one because I ate a bunch of olives and now I'm sick of them in real life. Like, I never want to have an olive again. Because with this giant plate of olives that we had, for some reason, I kept eating them. And anyway, I don't even want to think about it. It's actually really unpleasant. Oh, God, I don't want olives anymore. I used to love olives. Like, as of a week ago, before writing the stream. Ah, maybe I need to have one in real life. And then I would like it more. Should I? Critality? I'll do that then. Oh, you have a New York Times article on the best Christmas lights. GE Energy Smart Colorite? LED miniature lights. I'll look for that this December. Oh wait, what'd you say, Nub? As a kid, you were really scared of the dark, so you had Christmas lights around your room all year round. I like that though. Like, this is such a, for me, this adds such a good vibe to this room that I'm in. These lights, I like it so much. It's nice. Am, you wanted a nightlight because you were super scared of the dark when you were in kindergarten, but your mom told you to stop being a little bitch and get used to the dark. I, on the other hand, was the opposite, where my mom was always so catering to what I wanted as a kid, that if I wanted that, I basically slept with the light on until I was like much older than the typical person who still sleeps with their light on, or the typical kid. I slept with my light on fully throughout elementary school, and I think I only stopped in 6th grade, which is the start of middle school here. I slept with my light for a long time. Bring the salt lamp down. They are really nice, Critality. They're very, very nice. They're nicer to have than they seem. It's like having the Christmas lights down here. They give a room a good vibe, which I like. But another thing I've noticed when I was looking into the salt lamps, because I bought one for Cashew, was that there's some that are like exactly the same as others, but some of them are like $90, and then some of them are like $10. And it's the pricing is really weird, but you can get like a good quality chunk of Himalayan salt as a lamp for not too much at all, and it gives whatever room you put it in a good vibe. I can attest to it, whether it's just a fad or not. Well, it started when I was like really young. It was always a nightlight nub, but up until like 5th grade of elementary school, it was literally a nightstand light. But it was like a dimmable nightstand light, so it had like 3 settings, and the lowest one was really dim, and I would sleep with it on the really dim one. I think as a kid, the way I stopped sleeping with a light, because I had gotten so used to it, was one night I just forgot to. And then I was like, oh, wait a minute. I'm in like 6th grade now. And I'm not even scared of the dark anymore. I've just gotten used to sleeping with a light on. But I guess I don't need it if I can fall asleep without it. All right. We got a few more left. I found myself going to school for a few weeks, like back in high school, getting on a bus and going throughout the day. Somehow weeks passed in the dream, and I remember it was as if now I couldn't stream or do any other work because being back in high school was taking up my time. So I had to eventually decide if I wanted to stop going to high school or continue other pursuits. I think I even remember going on a school trip to a water park and riding down a water slide with a few friends at some point in the weeks. Eventually, I was in a calc class with a teacher who I actually had in real life back in high school. And while he was lecturing, I was thinking... Oops. Lost my spot. Fuck. While he was lecturing, I was thinking of all the other things I could be doing. And was already doing before I went back to high school, ? It's hard to explain, but it was as if in my life now, I was suddenly back in high school, and it wasn't good. But anyway, I was thinking about the stream and about other opportunities, and I was ready to just leave the class when the teacher said it was time to check homework and see if we had done it. I remember thinking I already went through the class years ago and didn't understand why I was back in it. But when he got to me to check my homework, I said I didn't do it, and he just walked by. Eventually, he gave out that night's assignment, and it was to draw a unique dog really well without tracing. Everyone knows that the best calculus assignments are to draw dogs really, really nicely, with no tracing, very specifically. And the teacher drew an example for what we were supposed to do for our homework. He drew an example dog for us that looked like a pug covered in hearts. And that's when I decided for sure in the dream that I was never going back there again. Well, there you go. That was another one that happened this week. I don't remember it being a bad dream, though. I remember the pug that my calc teacher drew was actually really good looking. Like, the drawing was really good. That was our homework, to draw a dog. Okay. When did I start to write down my dreams? I started like 3 months ago, Neo. And the reason why I wrote them down for about 2 weeks, specifically for one of these podcasts a while ago. And then I took a break from writing them. At least I had thought, but apparently I wrote a few down that I hadn't realized until today. I forgot about them. And then I started again about a week ago, writing them down every time I woke up. And so these ones that I'm reading now are from this week. And I think we're on the very last one right now. So this is last night's dream, right here. The very last one. I was sleeping in a hotel? That must be a typo. I was sleeping in a hotel room with Cashew. But all of a sudden, the room was much larger and connected to a bunch of other rooms. So people were able to walk in and out of the room we were in. We didn't care and just kind of understood what was happening. Then we made some popcorn and went to our beds to eat it. We had 2 separate beds in the hotel room, and they were both bunk beds. But for some reason, each of us were on the top bunk of 2 different bunk beds that were next to each other. Okay? Then at some point, the dream changed, and I was in a group of people who were looking for a lost child. There's a lot of children in these dreams. Children being stuck or trapped. Schools and inside of video games. Those are the 4 things that are in almost every single one of these dreams. Okay. At some point, the dream changed, and I was in a group of people who were looking for a lost child, and we were outside while it was super dark and raining. I went to a patch of dirt with a small hole in it, and I decided to shout into the patch of dirt, asking if the child was inside of it. That's okay. But then a siren went off, and we all had to leave. I think more happened after that, but all I remember is the dream changing again to me inside of a reception room where I was in line to enter a VR MMO type game. This dream is a culmination of every single dream that has been here so far. We were inside of a building. There was a lost child. Now I'm in a game. Okay, so I was in a reception room in line to enter a VR MMO game. Except there wasn't any VR to put on. It was kind of just like we would walk through a door and then be inside of the game, inside of this other world, where we would control ourselves as our character in third person. I wrote this down. This reminds me. Okay, yeah. I don't know if I've talked about this on stream and wanted to ask. Because the stream was reminding me about like the third person view of myself, and I realized, completely unrelated to my dreams, in my real life, a lot of my biggest and most clear memories from me as a child and from my past, when I see those memories in my head, and when I think of those events and memories that happened to me in the past, I see them from like a first or third person perspective. So for example, I have a very visual and clear memory of me as a kid playing with these Thomas trains. But when I'm remembering that memory and thinking of that memory, I'm seeing the event from a third person perspective. It's not like I remember it from my actual view that I had as a kid. And that's kind of been how my memories work of events like throughout my life. I have memories of stuff that happened last year where I see the memory in my head from a third person perspective rather than remembering it from my view of how the event actually happened in real life. And I wanted to ask any of you if any of you have past memories that you can like very clearly see, and if so, if you see them from a third person perspective, because I was trying to look it up and it's hard to explain, so it was hard to find any like good results about it. Lack, you do the same? I wonder why that is. Why the memories are from a third person perspective. For the thing, what's the word I'm looking for? The common result, I guess, that I got from looking that up and people talking about it was that some people do and some people don't. Like, some people don't even have those types of memories, but some people do have them, and if they do, then they see it from the third person perspective. But yeah, it's interesting. Again, this has nothing to do with my dreams. This is real life stuff that this dream just reminded me of. But yeah, it's weird. I don't think I have I mean, if I tried to, I could like have one of those memories in my head be from first person, but if I'm thinking of a past event that occurred to me in my life, it's like I see it from third person. I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's weird. The human mind is, just as we learned with the last Dream Journal podcast, it's so weird that as a human animal thing, I fall asleep and everything shuts down, and then this occurs to me, that all of these events occur inside of my head as I'm sleeping. It's so weird when you think it's like the same thoughts of, I don't know, there's a bunch of things you could sit and think about and just get more and more confused as you sit and think about them. Human mind. It's very fascinating. Speaking of which, let's finish this off. So eventually I got into the game, the VR game, and it was this big outdoor area with a bunch of hills and trees and other people. And there were items on the ground that you could look for and battles that you could take part in. I decided I wanted to look for this rare dagger. This is last night's dream, and I think the dagger that I was looking for was the Assassin's Dagger from Dead Cells. Just because I guess that item in a video game has had an impact on my dreams, because I've seen it so many times recently. But while looking for the dagger, I started to realize that the game was just bad and broken. There were a bunch of collision issues. You could get out of bounds easily. You could bypass invisible walls. Textures would disappear if you look at them from a different angle. And so because of all of that, I decided to try to get out of the bounds at this one area that seemed like it had a clear opening that led out of bounds. I thought that the dagger, the hidden weapon, might be hidden there, so I went in and fell through the ground and landed on a platform below. There was no dagger. Dreaming about trying to break shitty games, literally this. So there was no dagger out of bounds, but I was stuck. So I had to use the help option, or voice, from a pre-made voice wheel, like in Overwatch. I don't know if it's still like that in Overwatch, but because I haven't played in like 2 years, but I remember there's like a emote wheel you can bring up to do emotes and voices. So it was like that, and I brought one of those up, and I kept spamming the help emote. And so my character that I was looking at in third person kept waving his arms and asking for help. So I chose the help action over and over, and it was just me waving my arms and asking for help over and over, until someone came. A few people came, one dressed as a knight, one female mage, and I think there might have been another, and they found me and reached down to help me out, saying that they're surprised the hidden Assassin's Dagger wasn't down there. After that, I left the VR game and was scolded by the person at the reception desk for going out of bounds. There we go. I'm liking that this last stream was mostly, in a way, a culmination of all of the others. Winter, what's up? I have just now spent the past hour and a half doing another podcast. Talked about some channel stuff, talked about some stuff about this podcast, And for about the past 40 minutes, for about the past 45 to an hour, actually, I've been reading my dream journal that I've been keeping winter. And we've gone through many, many dreams. And I've learned that the common themes in all my dreams are children, usually something bad related to them, whether they're trying to jump scare me or they're like lost. Being stuck inside of schools or going back to high school specifically for some reason. I don't have any bad memories of high school really though. I mean, I guess everyone does have some, but being just inside of buildings, like stuck inside of buildings and needing to get out. And being inside of video games. Those seem, I feel like there was another one too that was super common. But those seem to be the main things that are in almost every single one of my dreams. And it's really weird. And especially this last one had like all of that. Lots of being inside video games. I had this one, I tried to break out of bounds in the game. And one of them, I was trying to learn the enemy's aggro range in the game. And one of them, I brought up the console and gave myself the ability to fly. And one of them, I was Kratos inside of Hogwarts. And then that's among all of the ones where I was in high school, not prepared for tests and stuck inside of schools where there were kids chasing me and there was a witch. At some point in one of those dreams, there was a wife who cheated on her husband, and I had to tell the husband. It was. This has been quite a trip. Neo, you started watching Overlord, and it reminds you of WoW. Never played WoW, but I like Overlord. I haven't watched like any of the new season of Overlord. I watched the first episode, but now there's like 4 or 5 episodes. I completely forgot about it though. I need to start watching. All right. Well, there you go. That's been my dream journal. Obviously, that wasn't every single day between now and the last time I did a dream journal podcast, because that was 3.5 months ago. And this was like 12 dreams at the end of it. So it's, and that's all me trying to write them down every day. So 3.5 months, only 12 of those days was I actually able to get myself to write down my dream. So when I do this, it might sound like I have a ton of vivid dreams that I remember, but it's only like a very small percentage of the past 4 months. Winter, you hit 3-digit. Nice. Congrats. I want to join you soon. What rank are you exactly? Like 900 something or low 900s or like just super close in there or 800s even? 992. Best wishes for staying 3-digit. I believe fully. That's awesome. All right. Let me end off this podcast so that I can focus on chat more and we can switch into actually playing the horror game that we're going to play tonight for our Friday evening horror stream, since we haven't done one in a while. But that's been my 12 dreams that I've been able to keep in the past about 4 months. Plus some little information and some insight about what some of those dreams may mean from stuff I looked up and stuff I asked some of you guys. That's been also at the beginning of this, some updates about upcoming stuff for the channel, like events this October and December, and why the KoiCast has taken a month hiatus and why it's now back and will be back with more interviews very, very soon. And with all of that said, that's been the 7th KoiCast. KoiCast number 7. And I think it was just about an hour and a half, which is exactly what I wanted it to be. So, I'm happy. But thanks, everyone, for watching the 7th KoiCast. I'll have this uploaded to YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes next week. And obviously I'll have it as its own highlight out on Twitch as well, instead of just as a part of a VOD, so that it's permanently saved. But that's been that. Thanks for being here. Hope you enjoyed listening. If you're someone who's just listening to this, like audio, thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed. These are going to get back on some sort of schedule that is definitely more consistent than just once a month. And it's been really good. So we'll be back with another one of these very soon. And for now, thanks again for listening. I'm going to end the KoiCast.